The second conditional is used to talk about hypothetical situations or outcomes that are unlikely or impossible to happen. It differs from the first conditional, which is used for real and possible situations. To form the second conditional, use the past simple tense after if, followed by would, could, or might, plus the base form of the verb. Would expresses definite actions, could shows ability, and might indicates possibility. Here are some examples. If I went to Casablanca, I would visit Sid El Banusi. If I won the lottery, I could buy a new house. If you had a phone, you could call me every day. If I were older, I might stay up all night long. The second conditional can be used in the negative form. Use the negative past simple in the if clause and make would negative in the result clause. In formal English, use were for all subjects in the if clause. Examples: if our father didn't work so hard, we wouldn't be able to afford this house. If I didn't live in Casablanca, I could never speak Arabic so well. To form questions, invert would, could, or might with the subject. You can also add a question word before would. Examples: if you had $1 million, would you buy an expensive boat? Would you travel to South America if you spoke Spanish? What would you do if your family wasn't so wealthy? Where might you go if you won the lottery? If you could have dinner with a famous person, who would you choose? Practice using the second conditional by completing sentences with the correct verb forms. For example, if he started early, he would finish in time. If you worked harder, you would do well on the test. The third conditional is used to talk about hypothetical situations in the past and their imagined outcomes, which are the opposite of what actually happened. To form the third conditional, use the past perfect tense after if and would have, could have, or might have, plus the past participle for the result. Should have can also be used to express what ought to have happened. Examples: if I had been more prepared, I would have passed that test. If she had been there, she could have helped you. If I hadn't overslept, I wouldn't have been late for work. If I had known you had a test today, I wouldn't have let you go to the movies. To form questions in the third conditional, invert would, could, might, or should with the subject. Add a question word before if necessary. Examples: would you have come to the party if you had known about it? What might you have done if you'd arrived sooner? Where could you have gone if you hadn't come here? Practice using the third conditional by correcting sentences to express unfulfilled conditions in the past. For example, if she had been sensible, she would have locked the door before going out.